We've all been there, folks. Road rage can get to all of us at times, but the most we'll do is curse with our windows rolled up, right? Well, not everyone. And that's exactly what we'll see today, as I reveal some of the most ignorant road ragers who took things a bit too far. Straight through a parade. I'm sure the majority of you have seen this clip. It made rounds on social media as several people remixed the reel and made some crazy edits of their own. I'm guessing this guy had enough of the parade and just wanted to get home on time. He literally drives through it, swerving his truck left and right, narrowly avoiding several fatal accidents. Plus, even when a cop tries to slow him down using his motorbike, the driver is unhinged and almost knocks him over as well. And while he did manage to lose the officer, word is, he got charged with 40 different counts of criminal charges and a dozen other traffic violations. SUV versus trailer. How dumb do you have to be to stop traffic on a highway simply because you got overtaken? This SUV driver completely lost it as he repeatedly rammed his vehicle into the steel trailer. And I'm guessing this person is as ignorant as they come, considering how he's okay with damaging his whip. His bumper comes flying off, but this silly encounter is far from over. His next target is this truck. The out-of-control driver constantly brake checks him in the middle of a busy highway, endangering the lives of hundreds on the road. But it seems like this truck driver has finally had enough as he goes straight through the rager. Deputies on the roll. This driver got way more than he bargained for after getting schooled by two young teens. He almost gets knocked out cold after picking a fight with them. And to top things off, someone also manages to record him, pulling out a weapon. Now for the interesting part. Not only was this wild road rager a deputy, but he was also handed a jail sentence for 4 long years after firing at the other vehicle right after this recording. Auntie, chill. Imagine being so frustrated that you literally attack another person for asking you to move your car. Yape! This lady the other woman simply because she asked her to move her vehicle. And what pisses me off most about this clip is how everyone just stood around and watched her do this. Real-life video game. I'm not going to lie, the last time I saw something so out of this world was while playing GTA. When the silver SUV pulls up to the parking lot, the driver hops out and attacks the other rager not once but twice. And you'd think the feud has ended here, right? Nope. Shortly after, we see them battling it out in the middle of an intersection as the man in the white lunges at the other driver, trying to stab him with a knife. But the ending to this crazy encounter is even wilder. The guy in the white barely makes it out alive after almost getting run over by the silver SUV. Life and death situation. The horror. If I was behind the wheel of this sedan, I'd probably get PTSD afterward. After noticing a black Dodge trying to swerve into his lane, this driver hits the gas to avoid a collision. But I'm not exactly sure how the other dude took it. He probably thought this innocent little driver was flexing on him. When both vehicles stopped at the signal, the other driver stepped out of his vehicle, walked over to the other car, and literally pulled out a pistol right in front of his face. And you can even see on this poor driver's face how he probably didn't even mean any harm. That's assault right there. Watch as this road rage incident turns into a proper brawl. One lady even has a baton as she repeatedly smacks the driver with it at least 20 times. And while the other two ladies are initially trying to defuse the situation, they soon get in on the action. It's like a Royal Rumble event on the road. A man steps in to try to break things up, but nope. These women aren't done just yet. Now for the best part. Both these crazy road ragers were arrested afterward for assault and battery. Axe King for it. This video keeps getting crazier and crazier. This driver chucked an axe at the other vehicle over a silly road rage incident. And the question on my mind is, Why does he even have an axe in his car in the first place? I sure hope this guy cuts trees for a living. A mouthful of bushes. Life isn't an action movie, but this clip sure makes it seem like one. This is an actual road rage incident as a car and motorbike driver go at it in a wild chase, touching speeds of over 50 miles per hour. And at this point, I'm just trying to figure out what the motorbike rider even did. I mean, must have been pretty serious if ramming him off his bike into the bushes was the only solution left. Anyway, while both road ragers were at fault, the car driver ended up getting 8 months in jail for putting the other dude's life at risk. Fender bender turns violent. Let's face it, stuff happens on the road, and the best we can do is remain calm and try to sort things out. Or you could just run someone over if you're an ignorant road rager. Like this driver here who actually ran over a woman for a simple fender bender. The victim stepped out of her car to get a clear video of the other vehicle's number plate, and that's when it all happened. The driver is now under arrest as he faces charges of attempted murder. Military vet faces the heat. Witness the moment a military vet loses it and opens fire at another vehicle. Now, to be fair, the truck did kind of reverse straight into him. But chasing him down on a police vehicle with kids in the back, that's a bit too much. The vet eventually pleaded guilty and was arrested for several reasons, some of them being unauthorized use of emergency weapons and abuse. Rage shooting. I think I've discovered a new term. Rage shooting. It's what happens when a road rager snaps and pulls out a weapon, like this woman here who shoots at a fleeing vehicle with a kid inside. Word is that the silver sedan overtook them, leading to this shocking incident. Both the man and woman were later caught and arrested for attempted murder. Free car wash. I think the best way to handle road rage is to not indulge. But if you must, I think this is the best way to go about it. No fighting, no weapons, just car shampoo and some bottles of water. Oh, and you notice how so many people stepped out of the second car? Isn't that a violation on its own? But anyway, I saved the best part for the last. Remember the girl who chucked the car shampoo at the start? She was ordered to work 80 hours at a car wash. I don't know the judge, but I'm sure they have a good sense of humor. Monday morning rage. With everyone else already suffering in traffic, the driver behind the wheel of this white car makes the biggest mistake of his life after trying to cut through. The dude on the bike tells him to go back into his lane, and I have no clue why that leads to a fight. Not only is he already driving in the wrong lane, but he's also willing to fight over it. That's just insane. Oh, and not to mention how he also picked the worst possible guy who happened to be feeling the classic Monday morning rage. The biker goes Mike Tyson on this guy, rocking him with some beautiful combinations. They battle it out for a good minute, and when they finally had enough, they walk away like nothing even happened. I'm sure all the other people stuck in traffic had something to talk about at work later that day. Fistfight ends in gunshots. This is a classic example of why you shouldn't pick fights on the road. You never know what someone is carrying. Like this guy right here. For him, it's a matter of pride. I mean, how dare anyone cut him off on the road? But when the other driver finally snaps, he runs over to his vehicle, and that's when we hear shots go off. The other road rager gets hit multiple times, and if you ask me, he's lucky to be alive. Here's to looking stupid. This is it, folks. This is the perfect clip to teach someone just how stupid road rage looks. It takes two for a fight, but when it's just one person, road rage looks like the dumbest thing ever. I mean, how frustrated must this guy be to stand in traffic and repeatedly threaten the other driver with nearly 100 people filming him? And here's a fun fact for you guys. This incident happened in India, and this insane-looking road rager is actually a meme now. crazy how just one clip can turn your entire life into a joke. An awesome decision by the driver at the end to get out of there before this dude went berserk. Talk about bad luck. These two tough-looking guys got their money's worth after trying to pick on an MMA professional. They walk over, looking all tough before the MMA fighter puts one to sleep with perhaps the most incredible blow I've ever seen. It's so satisfying to watch. And even though the second guy has already accepted defeat, he still has to fight for his ragey friend lying in the bushes. But his efforts are also cut short after the driver puts him to bed as well. Another example of why you should always avoid road rage. Bird's eye view. I bet this guy had no idea he was on camera. He literally goes in for the tackle and then pulls out a weapon in self-defense. Come on! Not only did he attack him first, but he nearly shot his head off as well. I'm seriously surprised no one got hurt, but either way, James Bond over here is now in custody for trying to shoot the other guy dead. Does this count? I need your help with this one. I'm a bit confused. Does it still count as road rage if it's a police officer who initiates it? Now, the kid in the blue probably committed a violation, but this cop really went to work on him. He roughed up this poor kid badly after losing it for no apparent reason. When the clip went viral on social media, a lot of users shared how the cop should have been suspended for being so out of line. So yeah, I'm guessing it does count as road rage. Sucker punch gone wrong. So far, it looks like an ordinary case of road rage, just a couple of men talking it out, right? That is until one of them decides to throw a sucker punch. He miserably fails, and that's when the real fight kicks off. Both these men go hard at each other, throwing punch after punch. And even though the guy trying to break it up is mates with the dude in black, I applaud him for not stepping in. It could have turned quite ugly for the other driver, as it would have resulted in an unfair 2-versus-1 situation. I'm not quite sure how this scuffle ended, though, since the footage is cut short, but it's nothing more than self-justified, childish behavior. Mess around and find out. I'm going to keep it real. The red van is at fault here. The driver clearly cut off that other sedan, and pulling him aside to have a word is kind of justified. And when I say have a word, I mean have a word. I don't mean pulling out a gun and shooting someone in the arm. That's exactly what happened to the guy in the sedan, as the driver emptied an entire round at him, hitting him several times. Both of them were eventually charged, but the driver of the red van had to go to court for attempted murder. Worst drivers meet up. Someone, please remind these guys this isn't a race. They're fighting for the lead here as if it's some Formula One course. And I think it's safe to say we've all done that. You know what I'm talking about. That silent battle you fight with the car beside yours for dominance. But these guys took it to a whole new level. They don't even care about their vehicles as they're scratching them up. During this intense battle, they dodge several cars and almost tip over a biker. Honestly, it amazes me how some drivers think being in the space ahead is so important. Scratch contest. I wouldn't exactly call this a fight. It was more like a scratch contest, as both these women held up hundreds of cars on a highway in Massachusetts. Thankfully, this incident wasn't as serious as the others, but it still makes me wonder just how entitled these people think they are. Like stopping hundreds of cars for a personal beef? Plus, imagine having to tell the boss you're late to work because of two women going at it on the highway. Some sort of rage. We see a guy on his bicycle coming in super hot, nearly crashing into a man crossing the road. You can't really hear anything, but I'm guessing the guy flips off the biker or something, leading to a nasty altercation. Now, considering how bikers already have a bad reputation, something like this was expected from him. High in traffic? I'm not going to hold back, I'm just stating the obvious. I think this guy is high. The way he's hopping around like a bunny and throwing gang signs, it's clear he's on something. And in case he isn't, I think he's doing a pretty good job at diffusing the situation because as bizarre as it might be, it's starting to look really funny. The guy in the white t-shirt does try to take a swing, but this dude doesn't even try striking back and continues hopping around. But yeah, I think both of them weren't pissed off the same, which is why we didn't see any punches being thrown. Extremely close call. As soon as this road rager pulls up ahead, bringing this vehicle to a stop, you can tell something outrageous is about to go down. And while it starts off with just an exchange of words, the situation turns deadly in a matter of seconds as the driver pulls out a massive knife. I swear, the other dude's quick thinking literally saved his life. Had he not gone in for the tackle, I'm almost certain he would have gotten stabbed. And here's a tip. If someone stops you like this guy did, it probably means they have a weapon on them. So don't get out and drive away as quickly as possible. Lack of IQ. After watching this clip, you'll know for a fact that road ragers have a lower IQ. I mean, destroying your own car just to get back at some random person on the road? There's not a lot of context, but some lady, also in a Honda Civic, cut him off and now he's gone out of control. He reverses his car into the other several times before spinning it around and going in for a bumper-to-bumper collision. Either he has really good insurance or he's completely lost his mind after being on the road for so long. Believe it or not, there's even a point in the clip when the driver almost runs over some people. Wrong place, guys. This is definitely not a new sight. A raged-out cop fighting a civilian? Seen that. But these guys should seriously consider hopping inside a ring. There's not a lot of context, so allow me to fill you in. After getting slapped with a parking ticket, this civilian lost control and decided to resolve the matter the good old classic way. Road rage leaves no victims, people. Unfair from the start. Despite being hilariously entertaining, this fight was unfair from the get-go. Bringing a vacuum to a fistfight? In a way, you could even say she took him to the cleaners after several blows straight to the thinker. The clip cuts out in between and resumes at a point when bystanders have possibly broken up the fight. But the things road rage makes you do. Oh, and you'll also find it absurd how that man got all of this for just tapping on her window. Nearly got crushed. I don't know about you, but from the looks of it, both of these guys seem drunk to me. Their punches and kicks are all over the place as they take the fight to the road, with massive trailers passing nearby. And considering how this is a highway, these drunk road ragers are lucky there wasn't a vehicle in that lane. Otherwise, both of them would have gotten crushed. Heartwarming Christmas story. This cartoonish fight broke out right before Christmas about a year back. Just look at how these men with sticks keep spawning out of nowhere. And in case you're wondering where that truck came from, that's the reason why they're fighting. One of the drivers apparently rammed the truck straight into the other vehicle, shooting the truck several feet in the air before it spun out. This might sound a little weird, but I'm glad only these guys got hurt after such a dumb act. The walk of shame. God knows what's gotten into this truck driver. He's gone absolutely nuts as he tries his absolute best to get this tiny little PT Cruiser to stop. There's not any backstory to this road rage incident, but I'm sure you already know what it could be now. Chances are, the PT Cruiser probably cut the truck driver, which is why he's lashing out. The two cars come to a dead stop at the red light, and that's when things get ugly. The duo battle it out for a while, but in a surprising turn of events, the other dude actually knocks the aggressive truck driver out. It's a walk of shame for the truck driver as he leaves all defeated back to his truck. Road rage capital of the world? Come on, guys. Unanimous vote. India is the road rage capital of the world, right? I mean, with more than 1 million drivers on the road at any given time, the chances of running into a nutcase must be super high. Need examples? This guy here just won't stop as he tries to beat up the motorcycle driver. There are several people trying to get him to calm down, but he's obviously not in the mood to listen. Again, this makes me stop and wonder what someone like him feels after getting passed on the road. Whiskey makes you do dumb things. This 51-year-old learned his lesson the hard way after trying to take on this heavy biker. He claims the biker cut him off before they both met each other again at this signal. And did someone not tell Pops over here to not punch a helmet? What's that even going to do? But there's something odd about him here. The biker has no trouble taking him down and restraining, but after the cops show up, it's later discovered this old man was actually drunk on whiskey. That's it from our side, folks. So what do you think? Which incident did you think was the craziest? And have you ever seen someone freak out on the road? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos in the future.